Yeah, this has worked great for me, dude. I could go anywhere like what we're doing now, just popping up. Got that. That works good. Sounds great. Got this little camera and stuff. I was trying to work with a producer. You know the BFR guys, right?
Yeah,
BFR guys.
yeah, absolutely.
They got a new studio, beautiful studio, man. But it's just a scheduling thing. The scheduling thing, especially with what we do, and I got shows and their schedules, all this stuff. So
it's always that's the hardest part, right? Is finding time.
It's finding the time, getting and I need like a schedule. I'm not like as on call or whatever as I am with comedy and stuff, because that happens a lot, dude. Like you'll have just people like. Yeah. Oh, we need a spot filled up, or oh, we got this show tomorrow. We got this, that, the other. It's hard to like schedule this stuff or book like a podcast studio and stuff.
For sure.
So we'll see, man. I met with Joe yesterday at the studio, and but they already have like 3 podcasts already like set up in all the areas and stuff. So I'm like, where would I go if I had to?
I mean, this is a cool little setup. I mean, you got great lighting.
Easy.
That's the
boom,
hardest
boom,
part.
Boom, boom.
You know, like lighting's always the hardest part. Like my show, we have a producer. I hired a Gen Z kid.
Oh,
one of my partners is a Gen Z guy, and that's our producer, Justin.
Yeah.
And that's why we're successful on Freedom Friends is because of that guy. But that's because he's also like a classically trained videographer and a classically trained photographer, and has worked in the industry and in corporate gigs and stuff as a photographer.
Okay.
So the guy understands lighting really well. Thankfully, that's the only reason we put out quality products.
That doesn't come cheap either.
No.
You got to pay for that like expertise. Like you want somebody to know and care about the product and stuff, and they will.
Well, that's why we just made him a partner.
But yeah.
We were like, you get the same as us.
This is yours too, man. This belongs to you.
Give him some ownership.
You're invested. You're invested
for sure, dude. That's good.
But cool, man. Thanks for coming on. The Pat of the Hell. Make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube and all that stuff. I'm really bad at intros. Usually I just like jump into it.
But that's better anyways, dude. Nobody listens to the fucking stinger, bro. They skip through it.
Yeah, my advisor, my manager, aka Chat GPT, says you need to introduce your show, especially if like nobody knows who you are. Like they gotta like and subscribe, like a call of action or whatever. Call to action.
Yeah, call to action.
So yeah, like, subscribe, YouTube, all that stuff.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell your mom. Tell your friends. Tell your mom's fucking friends.
Yeah,
tell them to fucking tune in.
These numbers up. Let's get these numbers up.
That's right.
But cool, man. Yeah. So you've been doing. You were just on my last hot damn show.
Yeah,
did great.
Appreciate that.
I mean, I've seen you around, and then the last time, just like I said, like the call to, like on the spot, be available and stuff. Somebody had dropped out. They needed somebody to step up and do time. You were here working the door.
Yep.
Here at the Riot Comedy Club downtown, and Gonzo was like, "Can you do 10 minutes?" And you're just like, "Yeah," and fucking went on stage and fucking crushed.
Thank you.
Crushed.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm still trying to get that video.
Yeah, dude. My best performances have not been captured on video, dude.
I didn't even get audio of that one. That was a good one.
That's just how that works. But like, that was impressive because I like to build up. I like to amp up. I like to be prepared and all this stuff. And he just like, within minutes notice, hey, we need somebody to fill up some time. Do you have 10 minutes? Yes. And then you came down and then fucking crushed it, dude.
I mean, the thing is you could never say no.
Never say no.
Especially at this stage in my career, I can't say no. I can't afford to say no.
Yeah.
Like I want to be successful, and the only way you're going to be successful is if you continue to push.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And the amount of guys I see at my level who are just like who pass on shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I don't say no to anything. I mean, I rarely ever say no unless I'm already booked. I'll tell them I know. But like, if there's any opportunity, you got to jump at it because they'll stop asking. If you say no, they're like, "Oh, cool, you're a no guy. Okay, that's in your vocabulary. Nah, we'll just ask somebody else and stuff."
For sure, dude.
Also, what I like about like your way of like with stand up is that like you're brutally honest to yourself. Like even if you did have a good set, you'll get off like, "Oh man, that was like the worst I've ever done," which I respect because I've never seen you like have a bad like flat set. But,
it happens.
You'll get off stage, but no, like you be your toughest critic. I respect the shit out of that because there's so many people that like just get off stage, and yes, it's fun. and yes, you want to do good, but like there's witnesses to that to what you just did. You can't walk stage. It's like I fucking crushed it. You know,
It's
like
no, you didn't.
no, man, we saw you. We saw what you did. Like, yeah, you survived and stuff. So I respect that. I respect
Thank you.
you're the kind of comic that like likes to be brutally honest about their stuff, and you're still good at the craft. You're still learning all this stuff.
I'm just trying to learn, man. That's really what it is. You know, I respect the craft. I've been a fan of the craft my entire life. I did comedy in reverse. I already had a podcast, right? Like I've had a podcast for 7 years. I had another one before that for 3, just like you, multiple podcasts in the past. Like, and then finally, it's actually Governell's fault that I started doing
That's
this.
right. You did tell me that. You did tell me that. Yeah.
I had Justin Governell on my show as a guest shortly after his first stint on Naked and Afraid about 3 years ago. 3-4 years ago now. And he just called me out. I was like, quit being a pussy and go do it. And I was like, yeah, right.
That's exactly what happened to him. That's exactly how he got into it. He was on Will for Ignorance, Will for Ignorance, and George Anthony was like, you have stories, you should just do stand up. He's like, nah.
It's George's fault?
George Anthony.
It would be George's
So it's George
fault.
Anthony, put in Justin Governor got you, man. It's like it's a curse.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Nah.
George is such a good dude too, man, and such
So
an amazing
funny, so
comedian.
good,
and- yeah.
So how long you been doing stand up?
Almost. I think it's 4. I'll hit 4 years in August.
Okay,
so
cool.
a little over 3.
All in San Antonio?
Mostly. I mean, I've done some time out on the East Coast. I've done a couple trips out there and traveled and hit some mics and got some books out there, but mostly in San Antonio and Texas. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I did the same thing because I started late. I started when I was 35, and like I was doing the band thing for years. I was pursuing music, and then before I even started doing stand up, I started a podcast to talk to comics, kind of like a cheat code, not cheat code, but like a shortcut to like know these people before I go sign up for open mics and stuff.
Smart.
And dude, you tell a comic, "Oh, I got a podcast." They're like, "Yeah, I'll do your podcast." You know?
We're whores, dude.
We're whores.
We're
We're like,
such whores, man.
Oh, you got a live mic and an audience.
Yeah.
You know, well, not an audience, but like a live mic. Yeah.
You mean I'm gonna get content that I could put up and maybe I'll be funny?
Yeah,
okay.
dude. So-
Like,
It was great. So I started doing the podcast, and then shortly after, I started doing stand up, and then just got addicted to it, man. And it's crazy.
it really is an addiction. I tell people that all the time. I like, and like, I'm 44 years old, and like, you know, so a lot of guys I know, like they golf.
Okay.
And I'll use that as an equation. I'll be like, as an analogy, I'll say, you ever hit like that first time you hit a good golf shot, and you're like, I want to do this for the rest of my life every day.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you make people laugh from a joke that you created.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of feeling, you know, and
it's
it's
crazy.
so addictive and so fucking cool. And
I mean, you're
It's fun.
You're 4 years in, so like, have you had that like fall off? Like, oh, why do I spend all my nights doing this shit?
oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like it's a roller coaster, dude. Because like, yeah, it'll feel good. You're like getting the hang of it, and you'll have a button like shows after shows, like just like great fucking shows, and then you have that one bomb that's so bad, a show that is so bad. You're just like, oh, I wasted 7 years of my life doing this stuff. You know, like
for real.
and then it doesn't wash off until you have that next show that I do know what I'm doing and stuff. So you've had that already 4 years in.
Yeah, I definitely have. I've definitely eaten my fair share of buffets of dick.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just, I think that's nature of the beast. You know, I mean that's gonna happen. Like, they all can't be bangers, and maybe because I started as a grown up, I already kind of expect that.
Yeah.
You know, and you started in your mid 30s the same. You know,
Yeah.
like you've already. We've dealt with disappointment in our lives.
Oh, yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. I've been here
we
before,
can keep
yeah.
doing that, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, it's like, and the funny thing is every comedian I know has trauma.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't be funny without trauma, so we all know how to deal with it. We deal with it with laughter. Bombing on stage is just another form of trauma. Just try to make it funny next time, you know.
Yeah,
like, try to
yeah.
bounce back, and if you can bounce back, you'll be funnier.
And you have the other link too. Like you have like the Marines, the military, like background and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many like former military people do stand up.
Yeah.
Like and it's like it's kind of cool, but I wonder like how much that has like to do with like how does that transfer over, like being in the service and then doing stand up type of thing.
Dark humor.
Just
you
a
know,
dark
I mean,
humor?
we go through, well, misery loves company. Psychologists call it trauma bonding. We just call it, you know, the Marines or the suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's just going to be like you go through the only way that we that we cope with these crazy things that we do and see day in and day out is with crazy dark humor that the vast majority of the population would not understand. But comics get us. And it's almost like I noticed that right away. And I was like, when I would hang out with comics, it was like hanging out in the barracks with Marines again. It was like every one of these idiots is just like me. They're just as a little twisted and wacky as I am. And because of that, it's turning out really, really well for everybody, you know. And I think that's why we gravitate towards it. I don't think a lot of veterans realize it's an option. You know, but a lot of them think it's an option and it shouldn't be too. Like there's a lot of them like, I could be a comedian. No, you fucking can't.
It's so funny when you see people that think like it's so easy. Like, it's like anybody could do it, but it's not easy to get good at it, and it's not easy to like to deal with like the progress or like the slow build up of writing a successful joke, like a good joke and all this stuff. Like, everybody could talk and be funny and stuff, but like.
And they always evolve. Like you're never finished with a joke.
Never,
you know, like it always evolves and it changes every time you tell it. You drop a tag or you'll change something into there. You know, I mean, it's always changing. And I think with a lot of dudes, especially veterans, they'll come up with this idea in their head. And I had to break myself with this habit where I'm like, this is the funniest joke I've ever written. This thing's amazing. And then I'd tell it on stage and it would get crickets.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I'd be like, oh no. I suck again, you know. And it's like
that is the worst. When you come up with something like in the shower or on the drive or just you're like, oh man, I can't wait to say this. I can't wait to say this on stage. They're gonna like carry me out of the room. That's how funny this thing is. And then you deliver it and nothing. Nothing. And I was like, nah. Let me try it again. And then you try it again because you believed in it so much. It felt that powerful the first time you came in with it. So you do it again. Nothing. I was like, well, fuck, I don't even know what funny is then, I guess, dude.
Like I suck. Maybe I'll just kill myself.
Maybe maybe it's time. It's my time.
22 veterans a day. No, there's only been 21. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like,
damn, dude. Okay. That's that dark humor.
See? That's what we're talking about. Like
4 years, how much has your delivery, your style, your writing, all that stuff, how much do you think has changed from like the first year?
Day in and day out, man. It changes. Oh yeah, dude. It's flipped 180 degrees 40 times probably. I use the example of like Kill Tony. Right? You had a great minute on Kill Tony. Got some drumsticks because you rocked them drums. That was awesome. It was cool to see. I was there that night when you got called. I was in the room and I was like, I was stoked for you, man. Because that's the cool thing about our scene here too. I think is everybody kind of celebrates each other's wins. And it's like that dude's from my scene. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
you know?
it's cool when you see people get called up.
But I started going to Kill Tony, like, you know, I had this idea of my minute and it was going to be awesome. And then I never got called. And then 6 months later, I was like, that minute sucks. I have this new minute I'm going to do. And this is so much better. And it was. And then 6 months later, both of those minutes were trash. I'm going to do this minute. And it's like always changing. It's like you always find something funnier. And that's the cool thing about learning the craft and getting better is that you're always trying to be funnier.
For sure.
And I'm not saying that the first two bits aren't good bits, but you can always be funnier.
And they probably could still work, but like you're just not like now that you're further in, you're like, oh, I got something better. I got something better.
It's just ever evolving, you know? So like my perspectives, like my work ethics hasn't changed, but my perspective definitely has. Especially when it comes to just joke writing and process and respecting it. You know, you got to respect the process, dude. Because otherwise you're gonna suck.
For sure.
Like it's.
I mean, the fact that you started like late in life, I guess, like I did, like there's kind of like a sense of urgency, like, oh, I got to get good at this kind of fast, because like like I kind of feel jealous, like. Because, like, you know, like, we're the older guys in the group, like, in the scene, I guess. So when you see, like, the 20-year-olds come out and just, like...
And some of them are crushing.
Yeah, but, like, a lot of, like okay, yeah, for sure.
Dude, they're so good.
If they could just hone it in, like, they could, like, just be so powerful. So powerful, so young. But a lot of them, they're just like, this is a social thing, which I get. It's fun. It's fun to hang out with funny people. It's fun to, like, just come out and just whatever. But I'm just like, nah, man, this is a business. I'm here to make money.
I'm here. This is a career change, right? Like, I mean, I'm a retired Marine. I already have a pension. I'm blessed because I have the pension. I have sugar mama at home making money. You know, like, I mean, I have an amazing marriage. like which is also a weird thing for a comedian.
Yeah,
you as well.
It's tough.
It's very, very weird having like a good relationship at home as a comedian, because everybody and their mom apparently they hate comedians. Like, you know,
the ratio of divorced comics is just so high.
It's crazy,
so high. But
I'm so glad that I never have to have a "so I was on the dating apps" joke ever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm really glad that I don't have to do that. You know, but I really think like all of that foundation is like, you know, that's kind of it came with like being a little bit more mature. It makes comedy a little bit more business savvy, right? It makes us think just perspective difference, you know. And I'm not saying that those younger guys they're going to gain that perspective eventually, just like we all did, you know. But we have advantages from a life full of successes and failures, you know, and that we've learned. It's wisdom, and so we just I think we just look at it a little differently. But yeah, it's good. It was a career change for me.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do now.
And it was, I mean, how did you feel? I mean, this is for me personally. It was kind of like a little embarrassing to go like to open mics and stuff, you know, and kind of see that I was like the older guy. That's kind of why I started the podcast, because I kind of wanted like the podcast before I started going to open mics, because I wanted to see what it was like out there, you know, like the first few comics were in my age range, and then I was like, oh, after this, it's like kids.
Yeah,
you know, 20-year-olds that just haven't like really done anything yet, maybe with their life or experienced life and stuff. So when I went to go sign up, and I just felt old. Like in the world, like in the outside world, I don't feel that old. You know, like I'm 43. I don't feel 43. I mean, I don't feel like the world sees me as 43. But when you go into the world of open mic comedy, I feel like I'm just walking in there like a little old man, like, oh, excuse me, get off my lawn.
It's like you walk in, they're like, what's up, Unc? Dude. It's just like, I know.
And then when they realize that you're just starting out just like them, they're like, oh, this is sad.
So like, I got booked my very first open mic. I got booked, and it pissed off a lot of the newbies, a lot of the open micers that were there. I shouldn't say newbies, because I was the newbie.
Yeah,
you know, and
a lot of other newbies.
I had some hate from that, and it was like, they were like, you got booked your first time.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
And I didn't know any better. I was just like, yeah. But again, that life experience. I was in the Marines for 15 years. I've stood in front of crowds talking to people. Like, I don't rattle on stage. That doesn't bother me, you know. Like, I've been in front of crazy crowds before, and that's fine, you know. It's just, you know, that part doesn't bug me, and I think a lot of people struggle getting over that part.
Yeah.
So I can just focus on my jokes, you know, and when I get flustered, it's usually because I'm annoyed by something going on out in the crowd, or like a heckler or something distracting me or whatever. That's the only time I'll lose bearing, really, you know, and which is, I think everybody kind of gets thrown off by that sometimes.
Dude, the first year, I used to be so bad. I would get angry. I would yell at people because, again, I'm an old grumpy man.
Yeah.
And then I'm waiting 5 minutes, or I'm waiting like 2 hours to do 5 minutes, and then it's my turn, and they don't give a fuck. I was like, you're gonna respect me, dude.
Yeah,
what the fuck is why are you here? Like, and now I'm just like, dude, it was so bad. Like, I would cuss people out. And I
definitely did that like a month ago.
a month ago?
Yeah, I definitely did that like a month ago to somebody. Sorry, fellas. They're my boys, and they were both like, "Yeah, you're right." Yeah, I mean, they because they're both pros too.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't just them. I was at an open mic. Everybody was being loud as shit.
Oh yeah,
you know. But it's one thing if it's people like at a bar mic, and it's like, you know, people just at the bar. That's one thing.
Yeah,
it's a different thing when it's comics. That motherfucker, I was quiet during your shit.
Yeah.
Be quiet during mine, you know? Like, I'm trying to get feedback. I'm working.
At the open mic, at the open mic, I used to lose my shit, and then I was just like, well, they don't care. I just need to say this out loud because, you know, in front of people to see if it works. At a show, I might lose my shit, you know, because I'm just like, you pay to be here. Why are you acting up like this?
Oh, at a show, yeah. I've never understood hecklers at a paid show.
No.
Like, I don't get that. It's like, why are you ruining it for everyone around you?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I feel bad for the people that come out to pay shows and just like not give a shit. They're on their phones, they're talking, they're doing their own thing. I was like, you know, you didn't have to be here. Like,
yeah, dude, you could have did anything.
You paid to be here and not pay attention. That's fucking wild, dude.
Super weird. How long have you been doing comedy now? You've been in for quite a while.
I think about 8 years.
Nice,
yeah,
dude.
like I started when I was 35, I'm 43 now. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I never thought I would do stand up. I always I was a funny guy, you know. I use funny as a defense mechanism all the time.
Sure.
But I was in bands. I was in bands, and I missed being on stage. I missed being on stage. I didn't realize how much I needed it until I didn't do it anymore. You know, and I had I had an easy way because I was a drummer.
Yeah.
You know, so I could like hide behind whatever
Everybody
the fuck,
always
behind
needs
the
a
band.
drummer.
Although like I'm not the main focus, you will not notice me.
Yeah.
So I've always had that thing, and I was like, well, how do I get noticed without being loud or having drums or having music and all that stuff? And again, I've always loved comedy. When I was on tour, we didn't listen to music. We would listen to comedy albums.
Yeah.
You know, Greg Giraldo, Aziz Ansari. Like in the van when we were going from gig to gig, we wouldn't want to listen to music. We listened to music all night. We play music all night. Let's listen to fucking some people talkie. And so I loved that shit, dude. And it was like, and then I was going to an open mic at, I forget what it was called, but they had a backline. A backline, all that means is it was a variety mic.
Sure.
Poetry, comedy, music, and they had a backline, which means like the drum set set up, the amps are set up, you just go and you jam. So I was looking for people to jam with. So I would go to these open mics that had like the drums already set up and just wait for see if anybody wanted to jam out. And some people went up and started telling jokes. I was like, oh, that's how it starts. That's what comedy starts, how comedy starts and stuff. And
This is back in Seattle?
No, this was here.
Here?
This
Nice.
is here. Yeah, I started here. And yeah, got started doing it. Did good the first time. It was at a poetry open mic
Ooh,
called
that's hard to do, man.
Oh, it was so rough. I was
to do.
I was the only comic there. And I had to follow a lady doing a poem about abortion. And I was like, oh, they're gonna love my I'm fat jokes, you know, like, oh, they're gonna wait. They can't wait to like I wear my t-shirt in the pool type of shit,
That's so
dude.
funny.
And
That's funny.
I went up and like it was 5 minutes. I went up and at the 30-minute mark, I was like, hey man, this is going pretty good, huh? Like, cause I got some laughs. And a guy in the back goes, yeah, dude, we're drunk. I was like, oh damn, dude. But I felt good. I went to another mic the next day, a mic with nothing but comics. Bombed my dick off and like quit for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I quit for 3 months, and then I was like, fuck, I got to get back into it. Would go like once a week, you know, every day. Like wasn't really going. And then I got on Kill Tony the first time 7 years ago when it was at LOL. And did okay for it being my 25th time on stage. I did all right, but it was like a packed out room. I think it was sold out. Whatever. I was the last one to go on. Did pretty good, and I became just addicted since then.
That's huge.
That was like
dude.
fucking 8 years ago.
That's cool as hell.
Nah, man, it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, I mean, it's been up and down since then. Like I feel like just now I'm getting my stride where I'm comfortable and I feel capable of what I'm doing. The first year, like when you said you got booked the first year or at your first open mic, that's crazy to me because I didn't do any gigs. I just did open mics for the first year. I didn't do any shows.
Yeah, I mean, after that one show, it dried up pretty quick.
Yeah,
it dried up pretty fast, but it just kind of gave me some insight on like, oh, this is the process. Like, you know, I need to get out there. I need to show my face, right place at the right time. A lot like, you know, Gonzo going, hey man, you got 10 minutes in you? Yeah, right place at the right time.
I still think about that night. Still think about that night.
Yeah,
that was like impressive. So like whenever you get off stage, like you get off stage, like the last couple of times, you're like, oh man, that sucks. I was like, remember that night, dog. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
It is possible.
Sure.
You are capable of fucking crushing a crowd, dude.
Yeah, it's like I take it personal when I'm hosting, especially. I take it personal because you have a responsibility as a host to set the tone.
Hosting is tough,
you know, and because it's cold room, you got a cold open, you got to set the tone, you got to get them warmed up, and then you got to set up your first comic really, really well. And I take that responsibility pretty serious,
like you should, as you should.
And I don't think enough hosts do take that serious.
No,
you know,
man, no. It's a powerful. It's like you said, like you got to set the thing. And the what sucks, I host a lot, And what sucks is like if I didn't have a good hosting set, I got to go back up there.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna see me again. Like
whole
I
night.
bring up a comic that they love.
Yeah.
'Cause to me, I get off stage and like, oh man, the crowd they suck, dude. It's a fucking crowd. It's all them. And then the comic goes up and fucking cracks them. I was like, oh, it was just me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh shit, I gotta go back. They gotta see me again.
You cracked him for me the other night, man.
This is the guy that we didn't like the first time. Why is he here?
You cracked him for me the other night. I had a pretty, like, it wasn't a terrible set, but it was pretty flat considering my job is. And you were the first one up, I believe, and you cracked him open.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God.
No. I mean, it's tough going first. I mean, people are showing up late. People are still figuring out their seats. They're getting their drinks. I mean, like there's so many distractions going on when the host has his set. So it's not an easy thing to do, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. But yeah, I get it.
It is fun though, and I think it's necessary though. I think hosting is a necessary step in career progression of a comedian.
It does make you stronger. It does make you stronger for sure, and it's a lot of fun. When I get to host for like touring comics, it's a lot of fun to get to work with them and stuff. Sometimes it sticks to my head because I was gonna ask you like what your style was, but I remember a year ago I opened for Kyle Kinane, name drop, and what's that? I dropped something, a name. And opened
the
for
voice of Comedy Central for
the
a
voice
long
of
time.
Comedy Central,
Actually,
yeah. Now it's David Bory, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Kinane fan. I think he's the
great.
funniest. He's so good at his stuff. But he watches the show. And I didn't realize that he watches the show until I'm about to go. And for the first show, I'm about to go up and do my host set, whatever. And I see him come out of the green room and like sit at the table. And I start watching. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think he was going to watch.
yeah, that's nerve wracking.
It was nerve wracking.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I did okay. And I get off stage and he just goes like, oh, you're one of those set up punch guys. And I was like, yeah, kind of. And then I sat down and I was like,
is he talking shit?
Yeah, like, does he hate me? Like, does he hate set up
I
punch?
fucked that up, dude. Shit. Am I supposed to do this differently? Shit.
Because his feature was Sean Jordan, funny guy. He did his thing, but he's like storyteller, pops here, pop, and Kinane's just like levels of all this stuff to like. And like laughs throughout and like with a big old fucking pop, you know, and I'm just like da-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. He's like,
yeah, but I mean, like, look how powerful that can be too, though, man. Like, look at like Mark Norman was in here the other night here at the Riot, and
dude, the laughs per minute was insane.
Every single punch was so sharp and so perfect, and just like set up punch.
And for 45 minutes, he didn't let up at all.
And I couldn't tell you what jokes he told.
Was I talking to you?
It might have been. We might have been talking about this.
I know. I was laughing the whole time. I know it was nonstop laughter. Well, what did he do? I don't know.
Hilarious ones.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? The fact that we just remember laughing so hard, or like
I prefer that, dude, because that way when I see these jokes later in a special, I'm still gonna think they're funny.
Yeah.
I'm
still gonna think it's very funny. Yeah.
I love what he's doing, and like that's. I wish I could be that quick.
Yeah,
and that fast, and just that forgiving. I mean, like he's there. There is talent in the world that when you watch it live, and you're trying to aspire to be that talented. It's humbling. Fluffy.
It was very humbling.
I saw Fluffy come in this room and just do 20 minutes and to watch the difference between 3-4 years and 30 years. And it was just like, wow, I suck.
No.
I have a long way to go, dude. Like, but it gave me, I was like, you know what? I can do that though. Like I can eventually get there, but it just.
It is humbling, but it's
humbling.
Inspiring at the same time.
It is.
Oh, like look at what he's doing to all this crap. The first comic. Who was the first comic you saw live? Like even before like doing stand up. Who was the first comic you remember seeing live?
Who was my very first comic that I went to live? Shit. It's been a long. Dane Cook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw Dane back in like 2006 or 8.
You didn't go to like any of like the USO comedy shows when you were in the service?
I'm a Marine, man. They go to the Army and the Air Force. We never saw shit, dude.
Oh, really?
I did 6 combat tours, never saw one fucking famous person do a USO show. Never fucking once, dude. Like, not all military careers are created equally, man. It's bullshit. Like, yeah, dude. I never got to see it.
Yeah.
I heard about him.
Where'd you see Dane at?
In Boston.
In Boston?
Yeah, well, because I'm originally from Mass.
That's right. You're from Boston.
So I'd went
Go Hawks.
had a rough couple weeks. Me and this guy, fucking Patriots, worst game ever.
Yeah, it's so
We're the New England Patriots, and we punt. Oh my
a win's a win. Yeah, it wasn't that exciting. It was defensively, it was exciting, but it wasn't offensively.
I'm a defensive guy. I enjoyed the game, watching the defenses.
Yeah,
but no, I saw Dane there, and it I don't think it was a very big venue. It was just like Yuck Yucks or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Was he already big? Was there like MySpace Dane Cook big?
MySpace was kicking already. Like
Okay.
he'd already. I think it was before Vicious Circle, but it was. I want to say
Okay.
like it was. He was big. He was big enough. Everybody knew him. He sold
Everybody
out.
knew him already,
It was a
yeah.
sold out show, and I got lucky to get a seat. That was really cool to see. I was always a big fan of his, but I grew up like my big like Carlin and Richard Pryor and all those guys from like the late 70s, early 80s were like my. That's what and as a musician, like I used to listen to Ray Stevens. Did you ever hear that guy?
Nah.
He was a singing comedian basically. He did like weird, silly, like almost like Weird Al-esque songs.
Okay.
Type of shit, but he would write originals, and it was just like I had a cassette tape of this guy's shit, and it was hilarious. And I would just listen to that, or I would put on like Richard Pryor records,
Yeah.
or like Carlin records, or Eddie when Raw came out, and Delirious and all those. Like, I mean, those were huge inspiration to me. Eddie Griffin did Voodoo Child. That was one of my favorite specials growing up. In the early '90s.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, there were so many influences on that shit. Like, I've loved the craft since I was a little kid. I just was always too much of a bitch to do it until another Marine called me out.
Yeah.
And that's yeah.
How exactly did they call you out? Like, were you just telling stories, or did you talk about like wanting to even think about doing stand up? And he was like, just fucking do it. Like, what was the call out like?
It was after we'd recorded our show, and he had talked a little bit about doing comedy on the show and everything. And then I was like, I've been writing bits for like 10 years, and I pulled out my phone, and I just had like, in my notes, like everybody else,
Yeah.
I just had all these bits written down. And he goes, so why don't you go tell him? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, you're a bitch. I was like,
Why were you writing bits if you weren't going to do it?
I don't know. I would think of something funny and be like, "That's hilarious," and that's
interesting.
really funny. And then sometimes I would pull them out on the show on the podcast,
for the podcast,
because
yeah.
I am kind of the comic relief on the show, and always have been. And at the time, I worked for a T-shirt company called Grunt Style, which was based here in San Antonio. I was like the face of their brand. 4 million people every day saw my face. I hosted the news for them and stuff. It was a show called American Grit Live.
Okay.
And I would do that like every week and all this. And this was like right before COVID, and during COVID, I was doing that and everything. So like sometimes I would pull those bits out on that show too and try them out, and they would hit or they wouldn't, and I'd be like, whatever, you know what I mean? And so like I was just doing that stuff, and I was writing bits kind of like for that. And
yeah.
But Justin going, you need to do these on stage, and I was like, I should do this on stage, And then that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a whirl, dude.
Where was your first mic at?
Upstage.
At Upstage.
Yeah.
Damn.
My
Dude.
first mic was at Upstage Comedy Lounge, San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, dude. They don't do open mics anymore, huh?
Sometimes Bobby still hits them. He hit me up last week. You wanted me to host? I was like,
Oh, okay.
I was like, full circle, baby.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Full circle. He's still doing. I hope they continue to kick that back up.
He should do like at least a monthly. I mean, like a weekly open mic.
Well,
you
you used to do it every Wednesday.
He used to do it every Wednesday. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because I was trying to do open mic at Luchador on Wednesdays as well, and so that was a big accomplishment. Wednesdays was popping for open mic.
It still is.
comedy. It still is. Yeah. So I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, 4 years, I think it wasn't as busy as it is now. Like San Antonio's becoming like a good like comedy scene. Like there's always opportunities to get up at least once a day. You could do 2, 3 a day if you want. We didn't have that before, man. We had maybe every other LOL, once a week. So it's good. Like the scene's changing.
I get up 10 times a week.
10 times a week.
Yeah, my goal when I started, I don't remember who said it. I'd listened to a podcast, and it was a comedian that was talking about like giving advice, and he'd said 6 times a week. is the bare minimum if you want to take this serious.
Bare minimum.
You need to get up 6 times a week and be working on your jokes and working on your craft. We are wildly blessed here in San Antonio to be able to do that more than 6 times a week.
That's a new thing for us, man. And I hope it keeps up.
Like, how much has the scene grown since you started? Like
so much.
Numbers, wise,
numbers wise. There's a lot of us. There's a lot more people, and that's why people get into the whole cliques and gatekeepers and all that stuff. Dude, it's always been like that. And it's always spots are few. And you're not going to get up all the time, and it has nothing to do with clicks or gatekeeping. It's just you just don't get it. So now there's more people, more open micers, it's just getting harder and harder.
Was LOL always a bucket pull for their open mic?
They used to do a card system. LOL used to be a long running mic. It would be 50 to 60 spots. It would go till
3-hour mic.
1 o'clock in the morning. It would go to 1 o'clock in the morning. And then when I started, they were doing a card system, and then you would have to get by numbers, aces get to sign up, nines get to sign up and stuff, and then they cut the list down to 25.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting, but you got to understand, the club has to curate a list because they have people coming in to watch the show. When that card system, it would be all new first timer people doing the open mic at the comedy club, and so the people that were showing up to the show, they're just oh, are they all gonna say the F word? Are they all gonna say the R word? Are they all gonna say the N word? The audience was dwindling, And so they have a different system now, bucket system.
For sure.
Some people get spots.
It's so funny to me because I'll have to explain this to newer comics sometimes because they'll see the list and they'll see the guys who are passed at LOL on that list every week, yourself included. Justin, you, Dallas, all those guys, great comedians, and they're like, well, how come these guys get a spot every week? I'm like, well, because they're working. And I try to explain to them this is a showcase, man. People paid to come in here. They're sitting down to watch it.
Yeah.
They still need to be entertained. They don't need to listen to the first time or try out his new joke for the first time.
Yeah.
They still need, they deserve to be entertained. So we're mixing in some guys who can keep that flow going.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And that's the way. And
so people know what to expect. The first year, somebody told me it was that LOL was on audition mic. So do not go to LOL unless you're ready for them to see you, the management, because they watch.
I said the same thing.
They watch.
That's how I've always looked at LOL.
They watch. Yeah. And so I didn't go the first year, and then the second year when I finally had the balls to go to LOL, I didn't get picked for months. For months, I would show up, and then I would stick around and watch the show a little bit, and then I try to go find another mic or just, whatever. So, when people were, a couple months in, 5 months in, they're just this shit ain't fair. Why isn't it fair? It's it's never been fair.
It's never been fair, dude.
Be patient. Be patient. Go work on it somewhere else. And so when you come here, when you come to LOL, when you come to Riot, whatever, you're auditioning.
Yeah.
You're auditioning for spots because the management, they watch. They watch the open mics. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you could do whatever you want at the bar mics if you just want to get something off your chest or say the most edgy stuff. Take that to the bar mics. They're not booking comedy shows.
Yeah.
But if you go to a comedy club and you sign up for the open mics, be prepared, and you're think of it as an audition because they certainly do.
Show them that you're professional.
Yeah,
that's what I tell people when they come to the mics here at the Riot. That I host one of those mics, and I tell them, I'm like, bring your A game to this one, man, because people pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Our booker often sits in the back, and if he sees you and he's like, that guy's funny, let's give him a 5-minute spot on a showcase or something, that's a foot in the door. And and just like you, it took me probably 8 or 9 months of signing up at LOL before I got put on that bucket, where I got pulled out of that bucket.
Yeah, it took me months, and then I get on and I fucking ate a bag of dicks, dude. I was like, no, I swear I was prepared.
That's the only thing, I work the door on Thursdays now here at the club, and that's the only thing I miss is I used to call my Thursday night mic at Tandem. It was my Thursday night bomb. because I would bomb every fucking week, and I would
Tandem
just
is
get
tough.
it out of the way. Dude.
I love tandem, but it's tough. It'll make
Yeah.
you work. But if I got to work on something, like I'll go to tandem for sure.
Yeah, it's just a good little coffee shop, Mike. That that is a good place to work out stuff. But it's, dude, that crowd in there. Whoa! As soon as I walked in, they were like, "Nope," like every week. But I needed that.
Yeah.
It knocked me down a bit, kept me humble.
Especially now because like they mix up show themes, like not show themes. What am I saying? Like whatever the event of that day is. It's not just open mics. Like the last one I went to, there was a craft show. And
Yeah, I've been to those.
And an open mic, you know. The one before it was like movie night and open mic, and so we had people with elf ears in the back because they're watching like Princess Diaries, like in the back patio, and then we have comedy on the inside. We're just like, all right, man, this is it's just a mixed match of entertainment we're doing tonight, dude.
Fucking silly.
But yeah, Tandem was great. Yeah, a lot of great mics and good hangs and stuff. And like, it's a good supportive scene, and I think that's good. I don't think I'm a part of that because again, I'm a lot older than these people.
You've aged out a little bit.
I've aged out.
You've moved up to that level where you don't need to do that anymore, right? Like
No.
I'm not quite there yet. You know, like
I would think
I'm
more
still in that.
aged out than because they make me feel so old, and I don't like feeling old, dude.
Yeah, for real, bro.
I'm fighting the darkness.
The other thing is there are generational differences between us and the younger guys, man. I talk about it on stage a lot because it's true, dude. Like I'm not from the generation, and neither are you. We're not from the generation that used our words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and some of these guys think that they can get away with saying some of this shit to us, and it's like, brother, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not one of your little broccoli-headed fucking buddies that's gonna take that, dude. Like you're gonna get trounced.
Yeah,
you know? And it's
words have consequences.
They do,
and also the generation that we're part of. We didn't have participation trophies.
No
participation
No,
ribbons. We didn't
learned how
all
to
get
fucking
picked
lose.
for the fucking baseball team or the football team.
For sure.
Like there was like winners and not winners, but like all right.
There was winners and
and
losers.
losers.
Yeah.
Winners and losers. Like,
But
and that wasn't a bad thing.
Being
It
a
made
sore
you-
loser or being a sore winner was just as bad as being a sore loser.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But we learned that. That was instilled in us. And I
Yeah.
don't think that's been instilled in these guys.
No,
You
man.
know, like,
And it's crazy, and
It's
like,
frustrating.
It's not up for us to fix it, but also at the same time, like I judge the fuck out of people that come in here thinking that the world is owed to them. Like you have to work for whatever you get. Like nothing was handed to anybody. That's the misconception that they think with like people because I just because I'm new to them doesn't mean I'm new to this.
yeah.
And so they think, oh well, we're all doing the same thing. Why does he have what I don't have? Because I didn't have that for like 4 or 5 years. The club didn't recognize me. Like they didn't know who I was, and why would they? I was just a fucking new guy saying my fat fart jokes on stage. You know, like it wasn't until like they saw me consistently and I was working in it, and they could tell the difference. I mean, like it wasn't handed to me. I fucking had to wait and be patient, and I didn't bitch about like not having this, that, or the other. You know, like. And you ever do the Blind Tiger?
I've performed there once. Yes.
So the Blind Tiger,
It's a good room. It's a fun room.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't been there, you know, whatever. But when I first started there, dude, you would have to go to a dojo, a writing session. That's the only way you get up on the Friday nights. You have to go to these writing sessions, unless you were already passed with the room. So I would have to go and spend 3 hours doing this writing session just to get up 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, at the Blind Tiger. Like. And that used to be a great fucking room. I don't know what it is now. I'm not talking shit about whatever. I'm glad I'm glad it still exists. I'm glad people have a place to go. But the lineup used to be like killers, dude.
Yeah.
So iron sharpens iron. I'm the newest guy performing like in between like people that are murdering like flames just on the room, and I'm just like I gotta fucking do that. Like you would have to compete. In a fun way, like not I got to be better than him. It's just like I got to be good for this room, for this crowd, because now that's what they're expecting. Their expectations to show up on a late night in a children's restaurant, a basement, you know, like at midnight, you know, like they're expecting it to be fucking good. How come that person's good and this guy's fucking giving me dog shit?
Well, that's the professionalism. That's where professionalism comes in, right? Like you're there to perform. And so many guys, they don't look. I think there's so many of us in the scene that we forget that it's a performance. We're here to perform.
We're here to perform.
Bring your performance.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people like, and I myself, I am definitely guilty of this. I forget about it all the time, and I'm like, and I have to look in the mirror and go, "Fuck, you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, get your shit together. I was like,
And what pisses me off is like they need to like if even if it's a mic, they paid $0. People are coming to this your comedy show, and people will stop coming to shows.
Yeah.
If you give them like dog shit, if they're not entertained, if they're not impressed, or if they didn't have like a good time, they're gonna stop showing up. Like, so respect the audience, respect their time. Like, I understand like you're here to hang out and stuff, but they're here to see a comedy show.
Yeah.
Because comedy's so big, so popular now, they want to see what it's all about, and you don't want to give them the bad impression like, oh, I'd rather just watch it on my phone. Like, why am I gonna go park, pay to go see somebody and not give a shit? Why should I give a shit?
they're coming out for an experience.
Experience, man.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
this club,
Respect that.
like we're here at the Riot. The Riot has only been open 3 months, and I think the reviews are fucking amazing. I think they have over 1,000 reviews.
This place, this room's special, dude. This is a special room. You could tell when you get on stage here, like in the way the audiences react in this room. It's wild, man. It's so noticeable.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's just the basement feel.
The basement feel helps. And dude, it was so funny because I usually when I come down here, it's like nighttime, but was meeting up early Sunday, while the sun's still out.
Yeah.
And it was a nice day. It was a beautiful day. And
It's like 78 degrees out right now. It's nice.
yeah, and I'm walking around. I was like, man, dude, I forgot how much I love downtown San Antonio. This is a nice vibe. And I'm getting closer to the club, and I smell a homeless man who probably has days of urine just all over himself. And I was like, oh yeah, that's why I don't come here.
Right.
This place isn't as bright. Why does he smell like that when the sun's out? It's a nice day. You can't smell like that on a nice day.
There it is. Thanks for ruining my day, you hobo.
Yeah, dude. I was all whistling and stuff, and then I gotta stop breathing. I'm smelling urine and shit.
Some crazy homeless guy tries to stab you with a bottle, and he's just like, "Come here, you. You got a cigarette?"
But damn, dude, we gotta cut this one
wild,
short
dude.
because we gotta turn the room around. And stuff.
Yeah. We both have a show here in about 40 minutes.
I want to talk about it because you teach people, right? You're an airplane jumper.
I'm a jump master.
A jump master.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, what do you call it? A daredevil?
Yeah,
a
dude.
jump master, dude.
Dude, I just fully embraced my midlife crisis. I learned how
When
to
did you start doing
skydive.
that?
I learned to skydive at 40, but I'd started jumping when I worked at Grunt Style. And so I jumped with an organization out of Palatka, Florida called the Round Canopy Parachuting Team. And they're a nonprofit that basically pays homage to paratroopers from 82 years ago that back in 1944 that saved the world, when they jumped into Normandy. And they pay homage to those guys. And I always thought that like keeping that aspect of history is so important. It's so keeping that alive, their memories alive. So I joined this organization called RCBT USA, and I got to jump into Normandy for the 80th anniversary of D-Day out of a plane that carried troops and dropped troops into Normandy 80 years before that, same bird. And it was just it was bucket list shit, yeah. And they do this every year, man. And anybody can do it. And literally, it's not just military. There are just patriotic people, or just people who are like, oh, my grandfather jumped into Normandy. I'd like to follow in his footsteps. We can make that happen,
Dude, I didn't know that was a thing. That's
yeah,
wild.
it's so cool, dude. And I'm just very fortunate that they picked me to become one of their jump masters. Went through their training.
Is there like a
programs.
long waiting list for that?
No, they do it. They do it twice a year. It's really first come first served to register in. There's one in March and there's one in October. There's two different operations that this organization does. And honestly, you get like 5 jumps and all the training, and I think it's like $800 for like a week worth of training. And it's like, and anybody who's ever done like a tandem jump like out of a skydive, well, that's $300 just for the video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To do it. You know what I mean? So it's like $800 to get 5 jumps and all the training, and you're jumping by yourself the first day.
You jump by yourself?
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
But see, you don't pull the cord though. The plane does it all of the work for you. The gravity in the plane does all the work for you on that. It's static line jumping.
I don't even know if I could jump tandem, dude. I don't know if my heart could take it now, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen my sister done that before. And I've seen video footage of it. I was like, I get scared of heights on my phone.
You should be.
So like when somebody like points like something like that's like hard, I just fucking jump on my phone.
Do you ever watch like parkour videos and you're like, ah.
When they almost fall off the edge of the building?
Me too.
Yes, I fucking shudder, dude. So I can't even imagine like doing that, like seeing that in real life.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, you're supposed to be scared of heights. Like, we don't have hollow bones and wings, bro. Like, you're supposed to be freaked out by heights. That's totally normal. And the day that I'm no longer freaked out, I'm gonna not jump anymore.
Yeah. The day that you're not freaked out.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, okay.
Like, I want to be freaked out.
I don't do well with heights, dude. You ever been in New York? They have a thing called the Edge. I think the building's called the Edge, I think. But like it's fucking hundreds feet and 100 stories high, whatever. Glass.
Yeah. I've been on I did the one at
floor.
Sears Tower back in the day in Chicago. It's
No,
terrifying.
dude, that's the one where they lean you out,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Fucking
fuck that.
terrifying, man.
Even watching videos of people doing that, not even showing the down, but just showing them leaning, and then it like snaps, and they're just like,
Ugh.
I can't do that. But yeah, though I couldn't walk. My wife's all like, she didn't give a fuck. She just walked around, and I'm just like, it was fucking scary, dude. I have pictures. I'm just all tense, like, just take the picture.
Yeah, dude, that shit's scary, man. That's a real fear, though, dude.
So I don't know if I could jump. I would love to say that I did it, but I don't know if I could ever make myself actually do that, dude. That would be fucking crazy.
My favorite thing about skydiving, and now granted that's different than jumping with RCPT. Like, I skydive separately, right? That's like where I just jump and I pull my own shit and I skydive. The reason I like that so much is it's one of the only times in my life that I'm alone. I'm completely alone.
See, I don't like being alone either.
Oh, dude, I love me some alone time.
No, man.
And like, just
That's so crazy
It's
how
so
you
nice.
mention like that you love it. Like
it's
I'm
peaceful.
No, it's not. Like I'm back in therapy now and stuff. I love doing comedy. I love being with my wife. Me and my wife have very different work schedules. When I'm alone, oh, it's so dark. I don't like it. I don't like it. So when you say like you want your alone time, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry you have alone time. You're like, no, dude,
No.
I love it.
Like,
Dude.
I love my alone time, man. But it's also just peaceful, man. Like when your parachute opens, and you're just out flying, because you're flying. That's it. You're flying. You get to fly.
You're falling.
But you're flying. You're controlling. You're able to control.
Oh,
fly.
after the
once it's open.
Open.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess,
you know?
yeah, you
and
can
then
control
it's
that
so quiet up there.
Oh,
Because there's no
man.
resistance. There's nothing bouncing off of walls and the ground and all this. There's like, it's just peaceful when you're under that canopy. It's amazing, dude.
Yeah, man. Maybe 45. Maybe.
I think everybody should do it at least once. I think that's something that
Is there
just
an
to know
age
you
limit?
can do
Like,
it.
if you're 60, you can't do this.
No, dude, my buddy, the guy who I jump with in Florida, Art Schaefer, he owns the Jumpmaster, or he owns the drop zone down there at Skydive Palaca. He jumps 100-year-old veterans into Normandy every year.
That's right. I have seen people
He's the
like
guy who
in
does
their
that.
in their 80s and their 100s jumping out of planes. I was like,
I had a student 2 years ago who was 82. Mike
82.
Arrington. He was an 82-year-old Vietnam Marine veteran, and he came out to jump, and he did. Guy was the coolest ever. He got 2 jumps in, and then I was like, Mike, you're going to shatter yourself. You got to stop. And he was like, I made 2. And I'm like, you made 2, baby. Yeah, he was great.
if I make it to 55, maybe I'll jump out of a plane. I don't know. It scares the shit out of me.
No, I will say this. There is a weight limit.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So
dude.
there's
What's the
that.
weight limit?
260.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
260. They call it a fat boy tax. Like if you're over 220, they charge you extra to do a tandem.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does.
I'm all for
Yeah.
fat guy tax, fat boy tax, or whatever you call it. Yeah, there should be a tax on being fat.
There is a.
We're taking up too much space.
It's fucking. Why the fuck do you get both? Why do you get both seats on the airplane, man? Fuck you, dude.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we gotta turn this room around. But
Yeah, dude.
thanks
Well,
for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
it. This was fun.
Good people, man. You're good people.
You as well,
All
bro.
right. Like, subscribe, pat out of hell. Social media, Mike.
Oh, Hooligan Mikey on
Hooligan Mikey.
Instagram and the tweets, and you can always follow my podcast at the Freedom Friends podcast, wherever your podcasts are sold or listened to or wherever.
At your homie Pat on everything: YouTube, IG, Facebook. April 8th, I'm doing another hot damn at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club. Doing things a little bit different this time, so hopefully it'll be fun. Hopefully come out. I'm gonna talk to the club, but my idea, I might record the next hot damn at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club. So be on the look at that. Tickets are already available. Go to improvtx.com and fire lineup. I haven't announced it yet. It's fucking fire lineup though. And see y'all next time. Peace.